Hello everyone. I decided to make a video about a Cotton X listener where you, an elf person, were trying to get out of your realm because recently the dragons are trying to wage war against you elves. You, as an elf, did not want to be a part of that war. You did not agree upon war because elves, in your realm at least, were more peaceful. You decided to go off into a few realms to clear your mind off when you suddenly stumble upon a rainbow forest realm and you meet Cotton there. And when you do meet her, she will be slightly moody, a little grumpy, and you will see a few animals going around, such as this one right here, known as Quashta, and along with this one right here, named Galaxa. And yeah, hope you enjoy. Bye bye. You walked upon the giant magical forest. Tall, looming mushrooms grazed on different patterns alongside the sidewalk you walked upon, or trail, as you might call it. Different colored mushrooms of blue, orange, green, purple, yellow, and all kinds of other colors. You loved going to this realm, although you did know it was devil infested. But devils have been slight frenemies with elves for the past 12 sorry for the past 12 centuries. So you highly doubt that if you ran into one at all that it would harm you. You knew that the specific types of devils here would either be sloth or lust, which the lust demons weren't very, how would you put it, talkative. Most lust demons have basically giving up their role unless they have a paper someone has signed with their permission. Most devils in their kind leave other species alone, unless either provoked or by contract. As you walked along the path, out in the far distance, you started to see a whole new scenery begin to grow into your eyesight. A tall, magnificent tree. This tree was over 50 feet tall, with black trunk and black branches and twigs that were then adorned with color assorted leaves, from red fading to violet blue. You had never seen anything like this before. Upon ever seeing a forest, you wondered of what kind it was. As you looked around, you saw these small, magic-like animals hopping around. One of them approached you slowly out of curiosity. This small, pink, cat-like animal with dusty dark blue wings and turquoise-colored, you would say mystic-like, adorned its body with a yellow ring and yellow star upon its tail, with small yellow dots adorning its tiny little frame. It approached you and gently sniffed your leg. You crouched down and looked down at it, as its tiny little tail swayed slowly back and forth and back and forth. As you looked down upon its small little neck ring, you noticed the name Galaxa engraved in it. Galaxa, you wondered. It fit her enough because she looked like a galaxy just as a cat. Then you suddenly feel something hop onto your back that was probably smaller than her. As you looked back, you saw a very light blue and purple colored fox with 6, possibly 8 different colored crystal tails. It was a small crystal fox. As it looked around upon you as if thinking you were a perch, but as it spotted you looking at it, it hopped up with a squeak and tumbled. You looked back at it in shock and gently uprighted it onto its tiny little paws. "Are you all right?" you wondered, as you gently wiped off its, new dirt spots upon its fur. Galaxa crawled around and gently nuzzled that tiny little crystal fox. You notice another collar upon this fox's neck that said Quashta. Quashta. That's a very interesting name. As you looked upon the tiny little fox, you noticed that your hands, if positioned right, would be able to cup its tiny little fuzzy head. And as you sat there, unaware, you suddenly heard a deep, kind, soft voice talk from behind you. "Why are you here in my territory?" You tensed up and looked around to see what looked to be a female that was a little tall, half pink, half lavender hair, and half pink, half purple eyes. Lienge type eyes with crosses engraved into them. Well, you wouldn't say engraved, more like born with them. Elf-like ears, horns, wings, and tail. And as you looked upon her face, you could see silver glasses and a gray mask. But as you looked past her hair and mask, you could see these darkish fuchsia and darkish dusty purple markings upon her face. You have been reading about devils for a while, and you know those markings. They are markings of a lust devil. Answer my question. Why are you in my territory? As you looked up her in shock, you saw upon her arms a small, precocious, dusty blue lizard she was gently holding. I mean no harm. Oh, shit. I mean no harm. I was just wandering around realms. I needed to clear my head. He responded shyly. Needed to clear your head? From what? You stood up and looked at her. She was at least 5 to 6 inches taller than you. Recently, my kind and dragons have been arguing, and the dragons are trying to wage war against us. And I was trying to get away to clear my head. As the female looked upon you, you could see the small little blue lizard gently tilt its head. Dragons trying to wage war against your kind. Do you want this war? You shake your head hastily. A war being placed upon your species by dragons that you do not want. What even is your species? You were slightly scared to tell her. You know, the elves and devils frenemies thing was a little more scary than you thought. He managed to mutter out. You're an elf, aren't you? She said, basically reading your mind. How did you... I can see your ears pointing out of your hood. You're not very good at hiding them. You look... Well, you don't exactly look. You raise your hand and gently feel to notice that your ear is slightly poking out. Shit, you mumbled. Look. You're glad I was able to find you. The devils in the realm here are not as kind to elves as others would be. You're lucky I found you first. Look, I want to get you out of here. But you must promise you never saw me, and you must promise you never heard of this realm, or saw. You looked at her shocked. Why was she suddenly so defensive? Why? Look, elves hate this realm. Elves are supposed to hate this realm. But you don't, she said. She then used one hand to hold the small lizard as she then reached out and gently tugged your hood down to show you your face. Look, I don't care if you visit this realm ever again. Just keep out of the outer rims of this woods, right? That is where the other devils roam. These woods are my territory, and I know if they enter it, well, they're gonna wish they didn't. You were dumbfounded. How could fellow devils be so scared of her? Why are they scared of you? You asked. Reason is, I'm stronger than them, and they know that. But some, unfortunately, are newer to being devils and try to go in. Last time, someone tried to chop down a tree. Well, let's just say their house didn't look so good after I was finished with it. You were shocked. You added a mental note to yourself. Okay, don't double-cross her. She's very protective. As you looked down at the small lizard, he suddenly leaped up and clinged to your face. Ah! You screamed as you then fell back onto your bottom and onto the grassy ground. Oh, Roscoe! She then reached out and gently pried the small lizard onto your face. Sorry for him. He's very curious in a touchy way, she said as she gently petted the small lizard head. It's all right, you said as you tried to get up. Then the female reaches out her hand, and you take it, and she lifts you up. Her hand was probably the softest thing you have ever touched. Probably as soft as silk at this point. May I know your name? You asked. Cotton. Cotton? Yes. And your name is? Oh, Wyan. It's nice to meet you, Wyan. So you said you were here to clear your head, right? Mm-hmm. Well, how about this? I'll make you a deal. If you only stay in my woods, just to clear your head and to chill with me and the animals, I will let you live. But if I ever find you in the forest hurting the animals or the plants or trees, you'll be dead in the next fucking heartbeat. Her voice grew slightly low and distorted upon her words. You were intimidated by her, to say the least. I understand, you said. Good. Look, I don't care if you go or stay. Just don't go east-west. That's where my home is. And I honestly don't want you visiting my home. At this time, at least. Once I grow to know you enough, I might consider letting you into my grounds. Understood? Understood, you muttered. All right. Well, I must go and check the other sides of my forest. Don't wander off, she said, as she then opened her large wings and then flew off east-west. You didn't understand. Why was she so nice to you? And why did she allow you to stay? Anyways, sorry that video is really short, but I want to try and make up some time in case anyone has stuff to do. I really hope you enjoyed, and yeah, bye!